human meat. Great for family dinners.
Hello, Imperial Dragon Restaurant? I've got a herd of you-know-what's for sale.
We took their babies, and we gifted them, or we sold them.
Witnesses of disappearances, people who'd been examined and then had disappeared, busloads, entire prison wards which had been emptied out. The signs began to look like something much, much bigger.
As man learned to till the soil, he associated the stars with events of good and evil. When the bull was in the heavens, he planted his crops. This was good. Aquarius, the water carrier, brought the rains. This was also good. With the Virgin of the Harvest, the crops were gathered. This was very good. But Draco the dragon brought pestilence and famine. This was evil. Then man began to build cities. Then there was Aristarchus.
Gentlemen, I disagree. The sun is obviously in the center, with the Earth and other planets traveling in circular paths. And thus the sun is...
Finally, there was Ptolemy.
Learned men of science, I have listened to all your arguments. I now decree that our great Earth stands immovable as the hub of the universe, the supreme center of intelligent thinking.
Thus Ptolemy's decree was blindly accepted as the law of science for over 1,000 years. Free and logical thought was stifled by a blank period of stupidity, superstition, and sorcery.
The word occult means secret. Secrecy is part of their religion. They revel in it, and when it's violated, they become extremely angry. How widespread is the occult? The answer is extremely widespread. Occultism in our society, and particularly in our government, at the highest levels of corporate America, is rampant. An ancient occult system that believed that the Earth was the center of the universe, that had her own seances attempting to contact Eleanor Roosevelt. Prime Minister Tony Blair and his wife practice the occult every morning. The Blairs' admitted occult activities are legion, and so was Adolf Hitler's well-known obsession with dark mysticism. Adolf Hitler belonged to the pre-Nazi death cult, the Thule Society, as well as the Thule Society.
From a woman, a Canadian woman, who has experiences linking Joseph Ratzinger, former Pope Benedict, or present Pope Benedict, to this SS child sacrificial cult called the Knights of Darkness, which appear to have a direct link to the Ninth Circle.
Both groups trace their lineage back to the Order of Death, founded in 1776 in Ingolstadt University in Bavaria, Germany. Then, of course, it spread to the U.S. with the founding of Skull and Bones.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the rest.
Number 322?
First of all, he's not the nominee. And, look, I look for...
Are you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction.
Discovery in Ireland. A mass grave of children has been found at a site that was once a Catholic orphanage. This week, forensics officials confirmed those findings. Nuns ran the home where thousands of unmarried mothers were forced to stay as punishment. Many of the women were able to leave after serving their time. Their children were left behind.
We took their babies, and we gifted them, or we sold them.
Hello, Imperial Dragon Restaurant? I've got a herd of you-know-what's for sale.
We took their babies, and we gifted them, or we sold them, or we trafficked them, or we starved them, or we neglected them, or we denied them, to the point of their disappearance from our hearts and from our sight, from our country, and in the case of Tuam, and possibly other places, from life itself.
Okay, kids, it's 9 o'clock, and you know what that means. Daddy's sick of looking at you, so go to bed. Aww. The grown-ups have to talk. Come on, Ma. Now to figure out how much money I'm raking in off those twerps.
We took their babies, and we gifted them, or we sold them.
Hello, Imperial Dragon Restaurant? I've got a herd of you-know-what's for sale. Let me check. Oh, right, you a cutie. About 35 pounds.
We took their babies, and we gifted them, or we sold them.
What? What?
Hi, Hi, Bender. We'd like to adopt a child.
Well, you come to the right place, because Honest Bender's Orphanarium means discount orphans. Now, little lady, what do I have to do to send you home with 12 orphans today?
I'm afraid we only want one.
Whatever you say, Chief. I'll show you what I got in stock.
I remember this from when we were kids. The warden would trot you out in front of prospective parents, and they'd judge you like a piece of meat.
I'm Albert.
You're under arrest for child cruelty, child endangerment, depriving children of food, selling children as food, and misrepresenting the weight of livestock.
If you had kids of your own, you'd understand.
We took their babies, and we gifted them, or we sold them.
You're under arrest for child cruelty, child endangerment, depriving children of food, selling children as food, and misrepresenting the weight of livestock.
And I want to just say that as a parent and as a patriot, I'm absolutely outraged by what we're allowing to happen to our children. These children are not just kidnapped and in some cases bred by families as a cash crop. We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them.
The way that the certain, 500,000 children are bred in the United States each year for the purposes of ritual slaughter. And you don't need to do that. But he explains with a sense of humor some extremely serious things.
But some Zarnap started eating a few humans here, a few humans there. Before you know it.
When your seven stomachs are a-grumbling, don't reach for the Quesnar fruit. Grill up some fresh human, and you know what to do. Human meat, great for family dinners.
Billions of humans are exploited every year in Zarnap Industries. It's big business now.
Oh, excuse me, miss. Do you have a moment for human babies?
We took their babies, and we gifted them, or we sold them.
Oh, excuse me, miss. Do you have a moment for human babies?
I have to get to work.
Just 1 second, just here.
Humans used for food are kept in rows of cages like these.
Hello, Imperial Dragon Restaurant? I've got a herd of you-know-what's for sale.
Had witnesses of disappearances, people who'd been examined and then had disappeared, busloads, entire prison wards which had been emptied out. The signs began to look like something much, much bigger. Witnesses of disappearances, people who'd been examined and then had disappeared, busloads, entire prison wards which had been emptied out. The signs began to look like something much, much bigger.
Taking action for you.
And first at 6, the investigation of a business deal that deals in human body parts shifting from Detroit to Chicago as the feds launch a new raid.
And once again, hundreds of families will be left wondering if the bodies of loved ones have been bought and sold on the black market.
7 Action News investigator Jim Kirchner is here tonight with a story you'll see only on 7. Jim?
Most of us are now fat.
IQ scores have been declining steadily for decades, and a new study says environmental factors are to blame.
You may believe that when you die, your organs will only be taken if you are a registered organ donor, and then will be given to those in need. But that's not always the case. When you die, the hospital must call an organ and tissue procurement company to report your death. This is the law, even if you haven't signed up to donate your organs. If you register to be a donor, the company can immediately harvest your organs and tissues. For registered donors, procurement companies don't need approval from a family member. And if family members disagree with the donation, they can't stop it. These companies say they view every person who dies as a potential donor of bones, skin, and other tissues. If you have not signed up as a donor, the company will ask your family members to allow them to harvest your body parts anyway. If the coroner or hospital can't find your family, the company can still harvest your organs and tissues. California law says that a hospital executive or the coroner can make you a donor if they can't find your next of kin after a 12-hour search. The tissues the companies want, including your skin, bones, veins, fat, and those tissues are worth a lot of money. A single body can supply the raw materials for products that sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Human meat, great for family dinners.
The United Nations says growing numbers of African migrants passing through Libya are being sold as slaves by traffickers or militia groups before being held for ransom. The UN's migration agency interviewed West African migrants who told of being bought and sold in garages and car parks in the southern city of Sabah, one of Libya's main migrant smuggling hubs.
When your 7 stomachs are a-grumbling, don't reach for the Quesnar fruit. Grill up some fresh human, then you know what to do. Human meat, great for family dinners.